Yep.
Oke, terima kasih semuanya yang sudah hadir sore hari ini di webinar Tanaku. Nah, hari ini topik kita lebih ke teknis nih ya. Jadi, membeli rumah sebaiknya cash atau KPR sih. Nah, nanti lebih lanjutnya, nanti akan ada Banu, akan ada speaker kita yang akan membawakan topik tersebut lebih detail dan lebih dalam lagi. Nah, sebelumnya kami mau perkenalkan diri dulu. Jadi, di sini ada saya dengan Elvina, kemudian ada Mbak Ayu juga, dan ada salah satu co-founder dari Tanaku, ada Banu, sekaligus hari ini jadi speakers kita. Oke, tanpa berlama-lama kita mau mulai untuk topik kita hari ini. Nantinya akan ada sedikit tips and trick untuk tips finansial sederhana gitu ya dari Banu. Oke, Banu, you can start the presentation now.
Yep. Thank you. Great. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Yep. Great. Yeah. Welcome everyone to the fourth webinar of the series. So the topic for today is buying your first home. Should it be a cash or KPR? And apart from that, what are some other simple financing tips that financing options that millennials can basically use to buy their first home? So you have me and Elvina, who's moderating the session today for us. Our vision is to make home ownership possible for millennials with a flexible, affordable home buying plan for first-time buyers. That's the sole reason why we started Tanaku. It's powered by East Ventures. We are widely covered by media, and we'll circulate the presentation after this, so you'll be able to take a look and click on most of the hyperlinks. So first, there are too many problems when it comes to buying your first home. Should I pay with a KPR, cash? There's Chichilan developer, there's P2P lending, then there's friends and family who want to help you. There's just way too many options when it comes to buying your first home. How do you know which one is the best one for you? So we've made a simple checklist of questions that you can use to decide which option is right. First, evaluate your options. So what is the current property price and the trend? Do you have any existing debts? Do you have enough liquidity if you decide to pay with cash? Then you need to plan your finances. What has a better ROI for your investment? Compare cash and KPR. And then make your decision basis a checklist that we have provided, which I'll cover shortly. Explore financing, where to get financing for your down payment and KPR, especially if you decide to go with a mortgage, you still need to come up with the down payment eligibility and the KPR requirements. So are there any other options if you don't want cash or KPR, basically outside of that you can also leverage? And once you secure your financing, you buy your house and you move in, what can you do if any of these options fall short of your goal? And how do you plan on paying back the financing? So tip one, let's cover that in detail. You need to know property price trends and when to buy your first home. You can use property marketplace sites like Ruma.com, Ruma123, agents, and property research reports to get a quotation of the home price that you have in mind. So the second tip, let's cover that in detail. So second, you need to evaluate your debt and liquidity situation. Know your current debt situation by checking your KOL score. And just evaluate the interest and outstanding amounts to check if you can take more debt and if the bank will accept you for KPR. Paying from cash might be a better option to avoid future additional debt. So basically, you need to ask yourself if you have enough liquid funds if you pay cash. So all in all, you need to check your debt and liquidity situation. If you're already under a lot of debt and you prefer liquidity, then basically a KPR will be a better option for you. And if you value the availability of cash in your life, even then a KPR is a better option. So contact the Tanaku team to find your existing debt and select check. Evaluate the pros and cons between both the options. Upfront, if you decide between a cash or KPR, when it comes to cash, there's no dependence on financing and qualification, which means that you can also better bargaining on and leverage on the final price. On KPR, there's a strong financial profile. Price is usually fixed and consider hidden fees for processing. For cash, when it comes to monthly, with cash, you basically lock it in and you should have liquidity for other emergencies in life. And when it comes to KPR, having a mortgage can allow you to use your cash for other purposes such as investing. In terms of cash, when it comes to monthly, again, you don't have to pay any interest and there's no closing costs like KPR Biaya, etc. And when it comes to the bank loan, interest payments and closing costs. And when it comes to the overall process, it's a much faster process if you decide to buy with cash, and KPR is a slower process compared to cash handover. So long story short, choose financing using this simple checklist. Go for cash when you have a strong financial profile. When you lack a strong financial profile, have liquidity even after paying for your home. You lack a fixed income via permanent employment, and you want more bargaining power. And it's also easier for you to sell your house, especially if you're an investor. And you can choose KPR when you have a strong financial profile. You want to invest cash, which gives higher returns than mortgage interest per year. You can basically put your cash towards a mutual fund or stock markets that gives you better interest compared to the mortgage interest. And choose KPR when you have money for down payment. At least aim for 20 to 30% money so you can reduce your plafond. Also choose KPR when you don't want hidden costs. Sometimes developers put hidden costs in the overall home price when you're paying with cash. So you have to be mindful of that. And choose KPR when you're okay with long-term monthly payments and have a fixed source of income. We overall recommend KPR over cash because cash can be used for investments, which will give you a higher ROI over interest. And especially with banks coming up with much stronger interest programs, which are very friendly to first-time home buyers, it might be actually better for you to get a bank mortgage compared to locking in all your liquid cash in the form of a home buying program. Cool. But there are some challenges with KPR. You need to know that usually 10 to 20% upfront down payment is very high for millennials. KPR also comes with its own floating interest, hidden fees, high interest rates sometimes that balloon after the first 3 years. And especially banks have challenges in qualifying you for your KPR. So to counteract that, Tanaku is also helping first-time home buyers with our 3 affordability plans. You can either decide to take 10% of the home price upfront as a form of DP booster, or you can take 10% of the home price as a KPR booster, which will help you reduce your monthly payments for 3 years, or you can decide to create a mix of both the plans. Second, we help you qualify for KPR. We facilitate the KPR application, removing all the barriers, and the process can take anywhere between 3 to 15 days. And last, you get to own your home. We only deal with ready stock units, apartments or landed houses, starting from BST, Gading Serpong, and Tangerang. And there will be a dedicated relationship manager who will handhold you through the whole process. But apart from cash and KPR, if you ask us for some other financing options, you can look at P2P financing, for example, but you need to be aware of the high interest rates, especially going up to double digit. But this P2P financing can be used towards your down payment, etc. If you have a strong community or friends and family who want to support you, you can always convince them for a loan lower than the interest rate that a bank charges. And there are multiple government programs like SMF who have now come into the forefront to help homeowners. And last but not the least, you can get financing support from us with our flexi plans. Last tip 7, paying back on time. You can basically invest in short-term mutual funds, etc., with the cash that you've now saved by getting a bank loan. You need to make sure that the return that you get on that cash invested is higher than your interest, and you can divert some of that into paying back some of those monthly payments. To avoid any surprises, get a fixed interest mortgage for no surprises, and also go through multiple mortgage calculators to plan your monthly payments so you can account for all of them in advance. Tanaku KPR Boost can be used towards protecting your KPR repayments if you fall back on hard times. That's it. In terms of, just to summarize, in terms of deciding between a cash or KPR, our recommendation is to go for a KPR, especially if you're a first-time home buyer who does not have access to so much liquid funds, and the liquidity of those, and liquidity can be basically used towards investing and getting higher returns versus locking it all into a home. The cash option would only make sense if you're more an investor. Thank you.
Oke, nah kalau misalkan ada yang mau bertanya, boleh ya. Oke, sepertinya tidak ada pertanyaan, dan untuk presentasinya nanti akan kami kirimkan ke email masing-masing, dan kalau memang dibutuhkan ke WhatsApp juga akan kami kirimkan via WhatsApp. Jadi stay tune terus, minggu depan kita akan ada another webinar. Sampai jumpa semuanya, terima kasih sudah bergabung di webinar Tanaku hari ini.
Thank you.
Terima kasih, bye.